What up, Aries? It's your girl Kelly coming at you from Boston for the Queen Bee Tarot for your mid-monthly, which is definitely late. You're welcome. Man, Aries, we've just got it going on. There is so much energy in this room that I'm literally like on fire. Oh, on fire. Speaking of which, never mind. There is so much energy in this room, and we are all going through so much collectively that it's like trying to get a hold of one energy. Sorry, I can't get comfortable. Trying to get a hold of one energy to read is hard. I'm getting the energy of the single people. I'm getting the energy of the people who are in relationships or were in relationships. I'm getting the energy of the people who met that divine male or female. I'm getting so much energy. It's like, where do I even start? So I see that some of you are coming out of a third party situation or a relationship that just did not work out. And you're going back to the drawing board because you thought you had it right this time. That's an energy that I'm picking up right now. Like, I'm picking up the overall, my energy when I'm feeling this is like the Eight of Swords, and this is collective. Take what you need, get rid of what you don't. This is collective. I did a video on the planetary movements earlier. Encourage you to watch it. It greatly affects like what's going on in your life right now, where it is in your chart, and how to understand it. If you need help understanding it, just come to me. I have no problem, like, getting your chart together and things like that. But go ahead and watch the video that I put out earlier on planetary movement and how it's going to affect your reading. But overall, the energy that I get from Aries is the Eight of Swords energy. And it's kind of like that energy where she's, and no matter what deck you're using, but my mind goes to mine and Rider-Waite because they're similar, but mine are more, I think, defined. Where she's bound up, it seems like, and she's like this, and she's in a mind prison, and there's just eight swords around her. The problem is it's her decision to stay in that mind prison. She has ways out. Her hands aren't bound. And though it appears that one of these swords is piercing her gown, holding her there, if you look, it's just hovering. So she has a way out. She can take off that blindfold and turn around and realize that right behind her is a small space for her to slide out of. But she's not doing that. She's kind of stuck in limbo. And in my card, she's stuck in limbo. Just imagine your whole life being stuck in kind of a spider web. You just feel like everything's right on the verge of happiness. Everything's right on the verge of happening. And it's still in limbo. And it's been going on for months for us, I think. And I feel like even the collective of us, it's like our worst nightmare, feeling trapped. We are so free-spirited as Aries that the idea of being trapped is something that terrifies us. We don't like to be cornered, and we don't like to be trapped. And it's almost like this energy coming off the universe that we're cornered and trapped, and everything is right on the verge of happening, but it's not happening. And it's like, and while we're waiting, here's a whole bunch of tragedy to set it off. Or here's a whole bunch of shit and garbage. Here, figure this out first. And it's like you cleared that pile, and then a whole new pile comes in, but you can feel the verge of us really coming into what we've been working for. Us really getting the gains of the energies that we've been putting out there. I feel a large amount of frustration with Aries. Like I would be going off swearing, saying all the shit you guys are saying right now, but there's so much of it that I don't think anyone would subscribe to this channel when I was done swearing, because that's how Aries is. Like, we're just bold. We don't like being stuck, like feeling like we can't move or navigate or get out of a situation. There's always a solution for us to get out of a situation. That's how we are. We think logically. And people don't realize, they think that we just automatically jump in with our heart, but we do think in a very logical and intelligent manner. It just comes a little bit later than most people because we live in the moment. We believe in taking that chance. But once you get us into that logistical train of thought, it's very complex mind. The Aries has a very, very complex mind. And one of those things is we don't mind being committed, but fuck all that being trapped. Like that new saying of, oh, if I cuff you, and which means make you my girlfriend or boyfriend, cuff you, that makes me want to run like 20,000 miles that way. And if I can't do it like this, I'll do it in a wheelchair. Any Aries who hears that is like, ugh. So I feel like there's kind of that energy, like we're all feeling cuffed. And it's not it may be in some situations, let me rephrase that, by a significant other. But more we feel like it's the universe. Like everything is just stopped. And anything we try where we need to move on the chessboard is blocked. Usually with our energy, it's like kingmate, kingmate, kingmate. With us, right now, we're not moving at all. It's just stagnant. So it's about feeling trapped, but Aries, always remember that our mind is brilliant. There'll always be a way out. And though we feel that energy looming over us with the lunar eclipse and, the planets that were all spinning retrograde through the entire summer, made it a summer of karma and of thinking of the past and putting apologies out there into the universe for things that we may have done. And it's hindsight. Hindsight sucks when you look at it. It really does. But you know what? It made us look at ourselves as Aries and think, you know what, maybe I wasn't entirely fair in that situation, and put an apology out there into the universe. You may never see that person again, or you may get the opportunity to bump into them and get your karma right. Never know. I feel like some of you are waiting for, come on guys, just one at a time. I feel like some of you are waiting for a move overseas, like you've got a long distance relationship, or you're waiting for someone coming from a long way off. And that's not a big portion of you. That's just a small portion. But I'm picking up everything. If I wasn't so overloaded, I'd say this concussion is brilliant. Can I keep it? Then I'm thinking, no, I don't think I want to keep it. I think I like my regular speech better. But the energies that are coming in, I feel like some of you are waiting for a new job title. Some of you are waiting for a relationship title when I say you're going overseas, or that person's coming overseas, or there's something there where you're waiting for a new title. It could be a job title and it's just being prolonged and prolonged and prolonged. It could be a trip overseas, or roll it back. Hold on, please. Let me get my tongue. It could be that you are in a long distance relationship with somebody in another country, and those papers are being prolonged, or that person is trying to come here to this country, and those papers are being prolonged, and it's just more money and more red tape, and no matter what you do, you feel like you're not getting any closer. It's just looming over you. For others of you, it may have been like a promise of employment that changes where you live, and it's a distance. Because Aries aren't afraid to take chances. So if there's a job all the way across the country from where they live, that's probably where you're going to find that Aries. So you're waiting on, I keep hearing that you're waiting on plans. You're waiting on plans to come through to move for a job. And that's, again, another small number of you, maybe a little bit larger in number because of the way Aries is and the way that we operate. But then I feel like there's some of you that, and this is a collective, like, it's just like we're all waiting on answers that we're not receiving. And we're frustrated. We're not getting it. Our messengers, our pages are not coming through. It's like they're all sitting on strike somewhere. Eating donuts and drinking coffee or something. I think that's it for intuitive, what I'm getting. So I'm going to get into the cards a bit. This is a very awkward setup. I haven't quite figured out how I want to set it up yet in here. So this is kind of an awkward setup for right now, just until I get everything settled. It looks like some of you are coming out of a relationship that you put a lot of work into and receive some disappointment. And this is probably a single reading. It's mixed up all over the place because the energy is so amazingly strong in here right now. I'm picking up like even just individual situations, and it's kind of fucking me up because it's like, how can you read all that? It's intense and it's very complex, so I'm going to do my best. Luckily, I'm a complex reader, so bear with me here, guys, because we're going through it. Looks like there's some of you that also separated from somebody. It may have been a third-party situation, or you guys just know how to, push each other's buttons enough that it becomes toxic. And so it's almost like you went back to the drawing board, is what I get. And you're trying to figure out what you're doing wrong with this person. Because after that, you've got the Star, which is a wish card, and you've got the Nine of Cups, which is also a wish card. So to me, it almost feels like go back to the drawing board and manifest what you really want. Write down a list of characteristics. Take a week. Write, and I say a week for a reason. Because if you write it all down in one day, there's a little secret to asking the universe for things. And this is why I tell everybody, never, ever, ever call in your soulmate or your divine male or female. Because the universe is very, very specific when it comes to these things. And you don't know who that person is. So who you could be calling in could be a completely wrong person for you. Or you could be, meaning they're a soulmate and they're there for a lesson and they're not ready for you yet. Or you call in your divine mate and they haven't learned the lessons that they needed to learn to get to where you are. So you're going to vibrate up here while the person that you're with should be vibrating up here with you, but they're still down here. You do not know this person. So when I say sit down, take a week, take 2 weeks to write down the most specific thing you can think of, all down to even, the way they dress, how they look, because trust me, I made the mistake once. I will never make that mistake again. That person was not ready for me, and it was just disastrous. But there's a wish card here. So manifest what you want in your life. Don't start going into that relationship abyss. Don't get there. Don't get there. Generally, because you've got double wish cards here. I'm looking at the Nine of Cups, and I'm also looking at the Star. I can't even get these off. What is going on here? You're looking at double wish cards. You're looking at the Star, and you're looking at the Nine of Cups. So these are both of the wish cards from the tarot deck. And it shows it right next to, and this is why I say, you know, it's kind of like going back to the drawing board. Like, what am I really looking for? Take advantage of this kind of stuck energy and start looking at, what do I really want? Is this what I want to continue to keep happening? Because I feel like a lot of us are dating the same person with a different face. Go back to the drawing board and learn the lesson. Why are we stuck? Learn the lesson. Because collectively, we're stuck. I mean, we're just going through it. It shows here, though, that we do have some people who are recognizing this lesson. God, this is complex, guys. If you could only feel the energy in this room, it's crazy hot in here. And it shouldn't be, because it's actually cold outside. I'm having a hell of a time getting these off the table. Okay, we're going this way. And I even cut my nails. We've got the independent person card here. So we've got an independent person. So a lot of you are choosing your independence. You're choosing to manifest what you want in your life. When this shows up with the independent person card, this shows up to tell you that you literally have the world right at your fingertips right now. What are you going to do with it? You've got the Fool card there. What are you going to do with it? And it looks like a lot of you are taking the time before you use those wish cards. And that luck has a lot to do with the planetary alignment right now. Aries, we're getting hit the hardest, yes. But we're also getting hit in a way that we're going to be granted whatever we are working on. Whether that be business, love, whatever it is. Looks like a lot of you are taking the time to be independent and single and take a look at the options that you have. You're literally going up the wheel, and this time it's like, what do I want to come from this experience? I'm learning this lesson. I've learned this lesson. And you're cutting away anything that seems unnecessary. Like even friends that you never thought. You're cutting out anything that doesn't serve your divine purpose and is dragging you away from what you're being pulled towards. And I know that a lot of you are feeling a really strong pull. But then there's kind of this just big cloud over us, like we're in suspension. Like we're in suspension. It looks like those of us who couldn't let go, again, if you watch my planetary alignment video, this is going to make more sense to you than it would if you haven't seen it. I tell you the planetary alignments and planetary updates because they affect you so tremendously and you don't realize, even down to the last detail of every dimension and possibility. When a tarot reader is looking at the cards, it affects every last possibility. Sorry, I am uncomfortable. Very much so. I'm in a lot of pain. So you've got here someone or something around you, a situation. And I kind of want to zoom in on this and look, because I feel like it's a collective of you that had some sneaky behavior going on around you. Friends that maybe weren't really friends, frenemies. I really want to zone in, guys, so you're going to have to give me a second, because there's just so much. I got to clear out some energy to be able to look at this correctly. You know what I get from this? And I never noticed it before, but this is a card of swords, and it's the Seven of Swords. It's the sneaky card. And to me, it looks like maybe there was someone out there that was manipulating some of you. And literally, to me, all of these cobwebs look like, and I know this is going to sound weird, but it's what I'm pulling in, and I'm going to say it. because it may make sense to some of you. They literally manipulated you in places of your mind that you didn't even realize how toxic your relationship was. That's what these cobwebs remind me of, is in the mental, the spirits and the ancestors are telling me, in the mental sense, they literally went into the recesses of your mind and kind of mind fucked you in a real serious way. I feel like this is more for the females, but there could be some males out there that went through this. They kind of mind fucked you in a way you didn't even know you could be. And you're looking back at it going, what just happened? Like, you got away from this. It looks like you walked away from this person. There was a tower moment. You pulled away into yourself to realize what was going on here, because you felt like something wasn't right. You were losing independence, or you were being controlled. And Aries, you can only control for so long before they eventually will act out and will just get up and pack their shit and walk out on you, or will just tell you out of nowhere it's over. Once you start to put that mindfuck on an Aries can recognize it instantaneously. I don't know what signs, I don't get into signs, you guys know that, but it looks like you pulled internally because you had this huge tower moment with somebody who was in the recesses of your mind and kind of messing with you in ways that you hadn't been messed with before. And so there's this tower moment that happens, and it's like you felt like you lost your own strength. Like it feels like for a minute, in just a minute, you felt like you didn't know who you were. And for an Aries, that's really uncomfortable, because we know who we are. We know who we are and what we like and what we don't like. And we don't like being controlled like this. And that's what I'm getting off of this card, is there's quite a few of you who feel like someone was really messing with your mind and trying to control your behavior, maybe telling you how to dress, or if it's a female, who you can and can't talk to, and you were being faithful, so it really didn't make sense to you. Why the insecurities? So there was someone there putting their insecurities on you, is what I get from that. God, guys, this is super complex. Let's see here. I mean, you do have some really positive cards here. I mean, this is a beautiful setup. Aside from all of these different scenarios, this really is a beautiful setup. I mean, let me show you why I feel like this is a beautiful setup, despite the negative cards that we're seeing. You use an ability that is an Aries ability to be independent. And you really went inside of yourself, which is not something easy for Aries to do. So it shows me a lot of you are taking a spiritual path now rather than a religious path. I feel like it's resonating with a good bunch of you, that you're really resonating in this independence and figuring out what the hell you really want, which for an Aries is kind of hard because we're so spontaneous. You're going in and literally learning to officially like love yourself while this transformation with the planets goes, and it's got us on edge. We're waiting and nothing's happening. We're waiting for that job and nothing's happening. We're waiting on that relationship and nothing's happening. It's just a big nothing's happening for all of us. And so a lot of you are really taking this time to figure out, okay, what is it? Back to the drawing board, like I said, what is going on here that I can change to move forward in these karmic cycles? after that, I mean, this is just a dynamic setup. You've got the World in right side up with the Fool, which is new endeavors, which is these two cards here are so strong in new endeavors and going out on a venture, taking chances on something new. And you have a wish card here with another wish card. This is a really strong setup, Aries. The question is when is it coming? I don't have the answer to that. And I'm just as frustrated as you. You feel like you're just on the verge of something huge. And it's just not happening. But it's a dynamic setup. Like, this is a lot of divine intervention. You've got a lot of major arcana cards here. I mean, you're literally taking a huge chance on a business or a relationship, like I said, maybe across seas. And you have two wish cards here, so it's going to go the way you want. Maybe the delay is for a purpose, a divine purpose. So maybe you need to take a look at that. But even, which is awesome, is you have this regal, you're pulling in the King of Swords energy. He's not always negative. He has this very regal setup to him. He's very serious about things. He's very, cut to the chase. He's very get rid of what you don't need. He's also very, takes the time to plan things out. So this energy here is really helping you to focus on what is important and what isn't. So, I mean, this is a really dynamic setup. I mean, it's amazing to see so many good cards in one reading, yet we're just hanging on the edge. And it's like you go in as the Hermit to figure out what you want, and you come out as this beautiful, independent person who knows exactly what they want. And hopefully when that happens, I don't know, maybe something will start moving forward, because nothing has moved in months. The whole summer was just like blah, like nothing happened. The whole summer was just retrograde, and it was karma, and it was dealing with old things, and it's dealing with old habits, and it's changing your mind. And now we're more in the sense of either learn your lesson or the universe is going to drag you for a ride. Like I said in the other video, one thing about the universe is that either you learn your lesson and you move on, or the universe will literally drag you if you're going against the grain. You'll lose everything. I had a comment on my other video that I was absolutely right, because, she was hanging on to somebody who wasn't for her. He was a lesson, and the universe literally took everything from her and made her change. And it happens. I've been through it, and it's really shitty. I don't suggest that any of you take that route. Go with the change, go with the flow, go with whatever's going on. Go with it. Otherwise, you're going to get dragged. And getting dragged through the mud to learn a lesson really isn't fun. The only interesting thing about going against the grain and learning this lesson the really hard way, and when I say the really hard way, I mean the hard way, is that the universe gives you the building blocks to build your life up to better than it was before. But boy, is it a painstaking process. Being an Aries, I learned to change that real quick. I feel like some of you are insecure about starting that new venture. And this may give you that time to gain confidence in yourself and understand that Aries are very creative people, and we are the inventors, we are the CEOs, we are the people who come up with amazing ideas, we are the Lady Gagas, we are those types of things. You just need to gain confidence in yourself, because I feel like so many of you are going out on a new venture. So many of you are leaving a job to start something that you've always wanted to do. I feel like a lot of us are in the same boat right now, because that's what I'm doing. I'm leaving you know, my old career behind because I have to, and starting something new. It's a huge chance. It's a huge chance, but at the same time, I'm going with the flow. And I suggest you do too. Because if you haven't already been dragged through the mud, you're going to get dragged through the mud. Promise you. Fight against the universe. Never a good sign. Yeah, I mean, we've got positive cards here of, you know, the Page of Coins coming. And the, oh God, this thing. The Page of Coins is there. And it's there with our Independent Person card. So that tells you that there's a messenger there that you're handling it the right way, is the feeling I get from her. You're handling it the right way. You'll be able to harvest once you start learning the lessons you need to learn, and that may be self-confidence. That may be, I don't know, whatever lesson it is you have to learn in this particular time, is going to be the lesson you have to learn. It's all going to be different. I feel like there's some of you who had somebody come back in your life. I'm getting so much stuff here, guys. It's just like overwhelming. I don't think I like my concussion because it's like so much energy in here. I think some of you went back to the drawing board and you weren't getting what you wanted from relationships. So it looks like some of you may have returned to a relationship that either wasn't good for you, or this person came back from your past and still wasn't good for you. Disturbed up some pretty old and bad memories and didn't have the best intention. I don't see the best intention here. So this is a reading for people who had, or partially, because I'm getting energy everywhere. This is a reading for people who had someone return to their life, and this person really, really wasn't good for you. And they didn't stick around. God, you're all getting a reading tonight, aren't you? Back to the drawing board. So some of you went back to this board and realized you weren't getting what you needed out of relationships mentally. Because I don't see him as being tyrannical. Although some of you may need to change your ways. You may be too controlling. You may be, I mean, I could be picking up you or your partner's energy. Please remember that. I could be picking up you or your partner's energy. So please keep that in mind. Take what resonates, throw the rest out. It's all a general reading. I can't know your specific situation, and I've been noticing this. People leaving huge comments asking me all sorts of questions that I can't answer without a personal reading. This is general. Some of you may be too controlling and you're not realizing that, and that's pushing this karmic relationship, which should be helping you learn a lesson. It's pushing it away. And then there's some of you who are literally just back to the drawing board and you're not harvesting what you want mentally. And so you, please slow down. Just one at a time. Sometimes you just gotta breathe when they're all in here. I mean, they're crowding me, like, backing on up. Like, back up. It feels like somebody that you maybe made an offer to come back to your life declined because of this controlling behavior. Maybe, sorry about my phone, it's constantly going on. This person declined to come back. Or somebody that you were hopeful would return to your life didn't because of some controlling behavior you've got going on there. So take a look at that for some small crowd of you or big crowd of you. I don't know. So many messages coming in tonight that it's just hard to really make sense out of. Imagine reading every single Aries in the world. There's a lot going on here. Some of it may not be conducive to your life. Get rid of it. But yeah, with this person returning, it looks like there was a lot that went on between you. For those of you that were hoping a person would return or someone did return, and is very toxic. I mean, you guys are having a battle of wills. You're having a battle of wills. This is not a good situation. You don't even have good memories with this person. Some of you are doing it out of loneliness, out of not finding what the Aries is always looking for, which is Prince Charming or Cinderella. Aries. God, there's so much information. You're having some unrealistic expectations in relationships, some of you. And it's causing you, because as Aries, we feel we deserve the best. Because we give our 100%. But it's causing you to have unrealistic expectations in what you expect out of a relationship. And so what you're wishing to happen turns into, this is a major battle of wills for some of you, whoever this person is. You're wanting them to be the perfect mate. And yet you've got the Strength in reverse, and then you've got the Five of Wands in reverse. And both of these cards are, this is a Leo card. And when Leo's in reverse, that's like a battle of wills based on what I'm seeing around it. So some of you are having just a major battle of wills. And this person has not been good for you since they've come back. That's a number of you, I think. And like I said before, there could be some of you who the person doesn't want to come back because there's some control issues there. God, the information I'm getting tonight. And then there's some of you that recently met somebody. Don't ask me. This reading is all over the place. There's some of you that someone came into your life. A Knight of Cups came in and strode in on his or her white horse and appeared to be perfect for you. Appeared to be everything you've always wanted. Except this person was false. And if you don't know it, you know it now. Sorry. I'm always the bearer of bad news, but I always tell the truth. This person is false, and they have a lot of secrets. They may be talking to a lot of other people, and I wonder if this relates to some of your overseas relationships. They may be talking to a lot of people. There's a messenger there to let you know something is going on. And then you have severe anxiety. So some of you are having some severe anxiety. The Page of Cups reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed with the moon in between tells me there's a lot of emotional deception going on there. And then the swords come in to say that there is also a mental component to what's going on. It's not just trickery based on emotion. There's trickery with mental deception, which is keeping you up, which is making you think what's going on with this person. You're starting to see red flags because they came in perfect. Suddenly it seems a little bit weird. And then the messenger comes in, boom. And suddenly here you are like, I don't know about you. And the red flags are there. So I'm here to tell you, guess what? This person is not for you. They're telling you what you want to hear. I am 38 minutes into this reading, Aries, and information is just flying. I'm not even going to do another spread. I'm getting into your angel cards. This is crazy. So if any of y'all want a private reading with me, my energy is crazy through the roof right now. That's fine. Get a hold of me, but there is way too much energy, and I'm 40 minutes in, and I could read this whole deck. I could read this whole deck tonight with all of the energy and the shit that I'm getting for the collective energy of Aries. Like, it's ridiculous. So if you need me, my information is below. I'm here for you guys. You're going through it. I know it. I'm going through it. I'm here. So, you know, if you need personal readings to figure out the ultimate craziness going on in your life right now, like mine, feel free to hit me up. Seriously. My readings are pretty reasonable. And I mean, there's just too much. There's too much. What do we have collectively for Aries angels? Okay, well, that was easy. At least something was. We've got patience. Now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. Like I said to you, right now is the time to take a step back and take a look at what's going on. I know that reading was very complex because it was single people, it was people going through breakups, it was people in relationships, it was all over the place. So I'm sorry, but now these are backing up what I'm saying to you. Have patience and look. Really look at the situation. Look at the red flags. Look at what I'm telling you. You come to me for truth, not for bullshit. And this is what I give you as truth. It may not be what you want to hear. Some of you may be, I don't know, a little bit salty after this, but at least it's the truth, and now you know. Omega, victory. Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. So there's that, like I said, that wish card on getting exactly what you want, but it's just hanging in the balance. And maybe, unfortunately, our lesson is patience and learning how to step back and evaluate, which is something we are not familiar with. We see the cliff, we jump off. We evaluate later. Right now, it's stopping us. It's like we're in slow motion to evaluate the situation. But we'll get what we need once we've learned patience. Fiona, now that you've asked the help from the angels, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance. You deserve heaven's help. So here it is. Don't be afraid, like I said before, to ask for assistance when I was reading from intuition. Don't be afraid to reach out. A lot of us are on our independent stance. We're doing our thing. But a lot of us at this point, we're exhausted. We are absolutely 100% exhausted with what this summer just put us through. Karma, and some of us are getting our ass kicked for our past behaviors. And if not, we have hindsight of things that have happened and putting apologies out and facing ourselves. And it's been a hard summer. Do not be afraid to reach out. Reach out to your family, friends, reach out to me if you need clarification, which I'm sure you do, because I know I do, but nobody can read me. Ever since I've ascended to my highest being, nobody can read me. So here I am. No one can read me. All the readings are either way off or several months behind. And I tell everybody, that's my first thing with tarot lessons. Don't read yourself and don't read friends and family. You know too much about them, and the possibilities you see will always be what you want for them and not what's actually there. So I can't read myself either. Your last card is Daniel. I am the angel of marriage and I am assisting you right now. So for those of you that are going through maybe some long distance relationships and you are waiting for a marriage visa or something like that to go there or them come here, whatever feeling I'm getting for that small percentage of you, it's there. The assistance is there. Ask the angels for it. Ask them to help you navigate through all the red tape of the government, because they will. I've actually studied angels in depth, and there is an angel that will help you. I'm not going to get into who and all that, because that's a whole nother realm. But will help you with red tape with the government. Start getting specific, guys. Start getting books on angels and what they do and what their responsibilities are and how they can help you. So that way you can ask for that help and be open to receiving it. My Aries peeps, that's it. That's it. Please just hit me up for personal readings, because I am just, there is so much energy. I could probably read every person. Like that collective, I could probably read every person in that collective individually right now, and that is just way too much for me. So I hope y'all resonated. I know it was very complex reading. I'm very well aware that I'm a very complex reader. If there's anything you didn't understand, please feel free to email me. I definitely recommend that if you still have questions, you might want to get on that reading. Personal reading. Sorry, I live on a main street. You know, watch the planetary video to make more sense out of what's going on and some of the things that I brought up in what I've said. Notice that it matches with the intuitive, and the intuitive matches with the cards, and the cards match with the angels. So I've done my quadruple check of everything to make sure that I'm giving you guys the best possible information. That's this Aries Leo moon out. So all of y'all hit me up, let me know what's going on. Share, like, subscribe, and comments. I like comments. Let me know how y'all are doing. And I'm out.